these things pop up, but hey, it is what it is, man. Anyways, we are back. Everyone, meet Marauders.
Fellas, how y'all doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Bit of a shorter cast than usual, but you know, people like we were saying, people have priorities, and they gotta take care of some things. So we're gonna keep it moving, keep it trucking, and try to stay consistent with this. Last week we spoke a little bit on certain topics that we found interesting, and that's what we're constantly doing and staying consistent with. We want to always bring new content and things that we find interesting. So, with all that out of the way, who wants to start it up?
Okay, all right. Well, I guess I'll start it again.
Yeah, go for it.
I just want to say this before we start. I think I'm starting to find my niche in our group now because I've always seen and watched a lot of movies and shows and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to consider myself the old school movie watcher or show goer now going forward because I'm watching a lot of different shows and not necessarily having to do with anime or anything like that.
Yeah.
Finding all the good shows to watch and everything too.
So, no, yeah, that's I know that's one topic. Not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but I know that's one thing that we're still trying to figure out, especially with this channel, or not figure out, but like kind of just transform and kind of adjust to. We've all noticed that you're really centering around more of the media aspect of movies and TV shows that you're introducing yourself to and reintroducing yourself to. So I think that is pretty dope.
Yeah, appreciate it. I try to give the little hood critique of different movies and everything.
Yeah, I mean that I think we're still finding a bit because like I said, I'm constantly on the internet looking up shit, man. Like research, reading little articles here and there. And whatever that I find interesting. I think tonight, you know, someone is gonna enjoy something. Like you bringing up old shows that I haven't thought about since I was a fucking kid. You know what I mean? Like it's something that, you know, nostalgic wise, like we've done a video on one time. We deal with a lot of nostalgia, and that's part of our livelihoods now.
That is right. So just to start everything off, as y'all have known recently, I've been watching a lot of detective shows and movies, and yeah, I don't know why, but I think Sherlock is the one that got me into it with the Cumberbatch version. So I didn't talk about it last time, but this time we're actually going to talk about Monk. If anyone's aware, back in the day, or even now, if people still aren't using the streaming of Netflix and Hulu and Peacock and other network forms of streaming, there used to be cable channels. And USA was actually one of those cable channels I'd watch religiously, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Back in the day, in the 2000s, well, we're in the 2000s, but 2001, 2010, they had some really damn good shows.
Yes.
Let's see, if I go down the line, I had to say one of the best shows they had was Suits. They had Monk. Then they had the wrestling for Raw, or for that, to combat WCW. What was y'all thinking of? Burn Notice, which I got done watching too a couple of weeks ago. So they always had a pretty good lineup though, as far as USA goes, and
SVU as well.
And Hulu and Amazon Prime actually has a lot of those shows on there too. But to get back what I was speaking about though, I got done with Monk, and it was eight seasons full of it.
Damn.
Yeah, that's right. And so that shows how much work I do at home. So I can't remember when I started. I think I started already 2 weeks ago, maybe somewhere around there.
Damn.
Just pacing everything out, watching it through, and working out at home and doing the show and everything. So for anyone that's not aware of what Monk was, what kind of show it was, it's a detective show. Now, the quirk to this show is the fact that Monk, his name is Adrian Monk. It debuted in 2002 and ended in 2009. So it had a pretty good run for the whole season.
Really good run.
Really good run. So you might know who Adrian Monk is. The actor is actually Tony Shalhoub. I might be saying his name wrong, but he's currently in the show The Marvelous Miss Maisel or Maisel.
Maisel.
It's Maisel?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The Marvelous Miss Maisel as Abe Wiesman. So just to let y'all know who he is from that point in time, or how long he's been in the acting game. It's been pretty long. And he did a lot of old school movies. If you're not aware, he did Polly. But not Polly, sorry. He played the character Polly. I can't think what movie it was. But he was in MIB as well. as the pawn shop guy that got his head blown off.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it can
So that's
regrow.
what
That's
it
right.
Right. So, but to get back on track, what I was talking about with Adrian Monk, Adrian Monk is a detective. His wife Trudy Monk died, in this case, 5 years before the show actually debuted. So in 2002, the show starts in 2002, but his wife died in 1997 to an unknown car bombing, which he blames himself for because he didn't want to go with her. But the trauma of him losing his wife at that point in time caused him to have a severe disorder of what is it? A severe disorder of intensified obsessive compulsion disorder. And so if you can imagine the type of person that is, or if you know somebody like that, they're always fixing something or making something even or having a count in their head or being a germaphobe and other things. So the dynamic of having a detective of that magnitude with that kind of disorder, you can imagine how much of an entertainment it is.
That should be annoying as fuck.
Hey man, and that, I looked at it from that perspective too, as it being annoying, but even at the same time, it's one of those things too that you never know what someone's going through. And so his team knew he was going through, but then when being a detective and you're talking to suspects or even being at a crime scene and you're moving things around, people are like, hey, don't touch that.
Yeah, exactly.
You got somebody doing this.
And
there.
Okay. And but there was one. All right, so I know it was such a long time since I've seen that show, but the wife, she was really into Monk, and she had her stint like you, where she was just randomly watching it. And one thing that I know that I wanted to ask, or I was curious about, is the OCD developed because of his wife dying. You said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, no, it wasn't because his wife died.
Or murder.
He always had it since he was since he was younger, but it intensified when she died.
Right. Mm-hmm. Because he blamed himself for that death, and he's seen. So now his rituals, which I'm assuming that's what they call it now, or for people that have severe OCD or anyone with OCD, it intensifies to the point where he feels like if he doesn't do this, something bad could happen. Yeah. I'm not gonna say something bad can happen. It's just the aspect of wanting everything to be the way they do it, or wanting it to be. I want it to be right in their mind. Yes. I want it from that perspective. But what I liked about the show, to be honest, is most definitely Tony Shalhoub. He brought that quirkiness out. Or I'm sorry, I shouldn't say quirkiness. I should say he brought the OCD out of a detective, but then using it to an advantage of being able to notice things that other people didn't notice. And so we always say, well, it's on the job application, are you paying attention to detail? That's as much as you can for that particular position. Yeah. And so within his absence of those 5 years, he retired from being. Well, he took a break from being on the force. Yeah. And so his two friends that were on the force before that were Captain Leland Stottlemyre and Randall Disher. And to be honest with you, I hated Randall Disher all throughout this damn show, man. That's the tall, lanky dude, right?
Well, he was a taller, lanky guy, and then Captain Leland was the captain once again for the cops and everything. But
and also the killer in the Sourlands.
It was just that horrible, cliche-ish idiot detective. Yeah. So I could not stand it, man. I was getting so mad at this show.
Like there's nothing endearing about it.
Nothing endearing about it, man. It was just so horrible. Yeah. It's just so horrible seeing that, man. I'm just like, Lord, if there was really cops like that in real life, man, we'd all be fucked. It's horrible, man. And there are some people like that, though. Don't get me wrong. I know, but that was just beyond comprehension to me. But then he also has a nurse that helps him out with things as well. In the beginning of the show, in the beginning of the first 3 seasons, his nurse was actually a woman named Sharona. Mm-hmm. And she helped him out with a couple of things. But when the season progressed through the 3rd season, we find out that she decides to leave because she gets a better job opportunity. Yeah. And the directors or producers of the show actually had a good job of making sure that we knew she was gone, and then he would need someone else to take over that position as well. So they did a replacement with a young lady named Natalie, who ended up being his nurse. Yeah, and, yeah.
Like Aunt Viv, shit like that. Yeah. I got you.
No, because they slipped that one in. This one was actually.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, for a bad example of one. Yeah, I got you.
Oh yeah, my bad.
I don't even remember them changing her. Like, I forgot there was a nurse before the blonde hair one.
Monk, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they switched. I mean, like I said, to be honest with you, she did a better job. Natalie did a better job than Sharona, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that fact is holding him accountable for his own things too, though. Natalie held him down to a couple of things, saying you got to get over these fears. She even called him a little crazy a couple of times, trying to get him out of his fears and doing better. But I mean, it's understandable, especially having a job like that. We got to take care of somebody with OCD.
Yes, definitely.
A little troublesome, but at the same time, fun to watch. But you can definitely tell their chemistry on the show got better as the season progressed as well. So that was always a good thing. And throughout even the show, all these little clues we get of where he's going to find out who murdered his wife is really interesting too. So I like that about the directors and the producers, how they did that for that fact. So they drew out a lot of different episodes of the same cliche-ish things that happened from previous episodes, but they brought everything together because of the fact they did a very good job of character development also. So you get to see not just him go through things, but also characters like Leland Stottlemyre. He gets divorced one time. The chickie, and then he gets find another woman he's dating. She ends up being a killer too.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've seen that happen in quite a few other detective shows or shit like that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, and then you get to see Monk try to make friends, and those friends end up betraying him because of the fact that they're killers too. It's very interesting. But if I were to rate the whole show though, and all, I had to honestly give it a B minus. I only give it a B minus because, like I said earlier, you got the classic tropes of an idiot detective. You have a captain that's going to be his best friend, trying to get him through things. But then, as I said, you can tell within the show where they were trying to extend it out to where the season finale would be where it needed to be. They just rushed everything into that one season to try to get everything to fit and make sense. But I mean, they did a good job of making it make sense, but you could tell everything was rushed in it though as well. So.
Yeah.
I was just giving nostalgia on that, and me watching these detective shows. Yeah, Monk was pretty good. Is it going?
So, question: out of detective shows that you've been watching so far, because you mentioned Sherlock as well, and I hate to be this guy to ask this, but out of the detectives' work, the way they maneuver, the way they solve crimes, who's the most entertaining to you within the shows that you've been watching so far?
The most entertaining,
most impressive.
Honestly, the most impressive I would honestly say would be I'm gonna watch it next. Actually, I'm gonna watch Psych next, and I think I can't think of his name now.
Sean Spencer.
Yeah, Sean. I think Sean gives the most entertaining version of it, of him being aware and attentive of things. But his relationship with Gus is what carries that whole. But they both carry that whole show off. They're just hilarious. Come on,
that whole
son.
buddy they're like the best buddy cops, even though they're not cops. But like the way they work, you can tell these guys are best friends. Like regardless if they might not be outside the show, like the way they present it in that show is so fucking funny.
I think they're pretty close outside the show from being on that show for so long.
Gotta be, my man. One time let me do this real quick. One time because Sean always makes up names for them.
Yeah.
When they're meeting people. One time he said, this is my partner, Large Blackman. That shit always stood out to me, man. It always stood out. I thought it was one of the funniest moments in Psych. But my bad. So you would think Sean Spencer would probably take the most entertaining, most impressive.
Yeah, I really do. I really do think he takes as far as the most entertaining is definitely Sean Spencer. Okay. I think the most attentive though is definitely Sherlock. Okay. And that's not even just going off the book or anything like that, but just watching as someone portraying him and what he does. It's just one of those things that you look at and you're just like, oh, you can tell he's off. Yeah. Definitely as you watch them, the people that play him. But him just being able to discern and decipher different codes and things like that. It was more than just a knowledge base, but he was well taught too. So it was really interesting.
It was all like because I think with Sherlock's family, the way that it was depicted in the books, or however they try to flesh him out, he was kind of taught some of that, or did he teach most of himself? Because I know him and his brother, I forgot his brother's name.
Minecraft.
Minecraft, yeah. I know Minecraft is kind of special in his own right as well with certain things, but I haven't read the books in such a freaking long time. I still haven't finished it. But yeah. I would think Sherlock would be impressive, but I never finished the series from Sherlock for the BBC.
Let's say, speaking of Sherlock, did you know that House was a version of Sherlock? Yeah, the TV show
What
House
do you
is
mean?
What? Really?
based
Was
off
it?
of Sherlock Holmes. House and I can't remember the other guy, his
Oh,
partner.
he's supposed to be depicted as Sherlock?
Yeah, House is Sherlock and Wilson is Watson.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, I never really watched The House like that either. I never really got into the series House.
I think I did. I think I didn't watch it only because of the fact that it was more medical based, and I didn't really think about it in that essence of watching it, where him figuring out things on a medical level. I guess I didn't want to watch it because of that.
Yeah, I wasn't. He was an asshole doctor. Okay, cool.
Great
Like
show.
I don't know what else I'm grabbing for this. You know, I never watched Grey's Anatomy. I never really got into the ER.
Grey's Anatomy is different. That's
I figured it is.
Yeah,
let's not talk about Mr. McDreamy, please.
Yeah, that's all Grey's Anatomy is. A whole bunch of doctors sleeping together in this hospital.
All I know is the
Big
wife was
STD.
she was obsessed with that show too because of that motherfucker. Now, because another real quick before we move to the next one, another show you should check out if you haven't, The Mentalist. Patrick Jane is great. Great.
There's also Elemental. Element is another one that's a Sherlock based one.
Yeah, Elementary.
Elementary. Well, I haven't watched that one yet either. I was gonna watch that too because your wife was clowning me about it.
Yeah, she loves that show. Lucy Liu is great in that too, playing the female Watson. Like it's so good. They do a good job. The chemistry between the both actors, like they're really good. And if you haven't seen Mindhunters, the TV show and the movie, I would suggest watching.
Oh, there's a movie and a TV show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mindhunters on Netflix, even though they canceled that shit too. What the hell's going on Netflix?
Okay.
It's hard to watch it. It's canceled.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. But all right. Thank you, bro. Thank you, On King. Did you got anything else?
No, if anything for the next episode, we're gonna have. I'm watching at the current moment 11/22/63. So I'm watching that right now with James Franco.
Yeah.
On Hulu. So
it's a Hulu original, right?
Say it again.
It's a Hulu original, right?
I want to say it is. Yeah, I want to say it is a Hulu original. So on the next episode, I'll talk about that show and give you more in-depth information on that. So from that show. So I'll talk
stay
about
tuned, viewers. We have more to come. See, this is how you reel them in. This is what we do, y'all.
Yeah.
But all right, thanks, man. All right, I'll go. So this game has been a bit of a controversy, not really, but sort of really, with its postponing delay on the game for its original date to come out. And I want to talk about Cyberpunk 2077. Quite a few of us outside of the channel as well, our friends that we've spoken to are really, really hyped for this game. If you don't know, Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that's gonna be from CD Red. What's the studio called?
CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red. They're the same people that made the series The Witcher, and that's kind of the only other game I know they made, popularity wise. But yeah, Mr. Fact Checker, check for us. We really appreciate it.
Oh no, that's the thing. Is Witcher. I was trying to remember. Cyberpunk is also based off of a board game.
Yeah, a tabletop game. From the I forgot the gentleman's name too, man. But there's a lot of stories. Just the Cyberpunk franchise, or just the novels behind them are really good. There's a book I want to look into. But anyways, I don't want to.
2020 is the name of the board game.
What's it called?
Cyberpunk
2020.
Yeah.
Yes. So this game is pretty much set in a cyberpunk era, genre-ish type of game. If you don't know what a cyberpunk, I would suggest watching the movie Blade Runner. It's probably one of the best films I've ever seen by James Cameron.
Which one? The old one or the newer one?
No, the old one. I watched the newer one, but I couldn't finish it. I fell asleep. I gotta watch it again though. But this game is gonna be a first-person role-playing game, and it's so fleshed out. It's probably people already calling it the game of the year. But people overhype a lot of games, and I hope this isn't one of those games that gets so overhyped and it's just disappointing. But the RPG elements is what's making me really, really happy for it. What's really making me look forward to it. And the open world adventure type of thing, I really love that. They're doing so much in this game. And this AAA, this is gonna be one of the biggest AAA games ever done. But I'll bring this up. I'll bring up the game only to talk about the delays that's been going through lately. Just recently, it was announced, I think this week, that the game's has gone gold, as in it's now done. Production is completely done. Everything, character design, voice acting, level design, everything has been complete, and then there should not be any more delays. So thank you, CD Projekt Red. I just want to talk about the delays that they had and the reasons behind it. So yes, the game's gonna be released November 19th for the ones that don't know. And original release was back in April 16th of this year. And but delayed September 27th on 17th, reason with quotes, "We are currently at a stage where the game is complete and playable, but there's still work to be done." After that initial quote was sent out, they delayed it once again from September 17th to now, which is now November 19th. I'm one of those people where I don't care about delays because I see it as a great moment for the developers, everyone behind the game to really focus and really make it as pristine as they possibly can. But you know, there's always going to be someone out there that's complaining, bitch, moan, whatever. And it's you know, it's annoying for what it is, of course. But the thing is that's weird about this to me, and this is not really a complaint, just an observation. If the September 17th release was supposed to be because of what I say of delayed, we are currently at a stage where the game's complete and playable, but there's still work to be done. What other work? All right, so when they come out with another article, it's so long, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but it pretty much says that the same thing they said on the 17th, and you know, they just asking for forgiveness, of course, for the fellow fans, the ones that are really looking forward to it, to please forgive all that, this, that, and the third. And I have no issue with that. Is that, do you think, my question is, reason why I'm a little I'm curious, do you think when developers delay games, it's just for the hype?
No.
Like, just like a flat out no, you can't even think that it could be possibly for any kind of promotional, more attention, have people, I don't know. I think I'm not 100% like, I don't 100% think that's the cause, but I feel like could be a reason for that.
No, there's multiple reasons games get delayed. Sometimes, like, you've seen some games that were delayed, had their dates moved up because they were delayed for console launches. Cyberpunk, on the other hand, was not one of those games, because that was supposed to release. That game's been in development for so long, they probably would have delayed it again if they could have, but the money's now racked up, like in development costs, that they have to release it in November.
Okay.
I guess my thing would be too is, I guess as a company, or even my motto wouldn't be say when something's gonna come out. I'll just give it a month. I'll be so bland with when it come out. When's it gonna come out? April. Never give a date.
That's what Sony moved to.
Yeah, they do
Sony
a lot of
over to that. They're like, you know what? We're not telling y'all dates until like it's ready to
like a month before.
Right. I'll just be like, you know what, guys? Late October. That's.
I see it as a good promotional tool, though, to not only. I mean, granted, you're lying to your fans, but
that's the thing. That's why they wouldn't. That's why they probably wouldn't do something like that, because all it takes is one disgruntled employee to say this is the reason, and then you ruin all the goodwill that company's built up.
But let's keep it real, man. Even if a disgruntled worker was to do this, who's really gonna be? You know what? F this game. They treat they've been lying to me. I don't want anything to do with this game. That's me.
Have you heard what's going on with the Harry Potter game?
I would.
You know what?
Have you heard what's going on with the Harry Potter game?
That the new no, I haven't heard anything about it.
The RPG that everyone's been waiting for, who are Harry Potter fans, man, people don't want to play it because J.K. Rowling won't shut up.
Oh, so, I mean,
like, it's to the point where the president of that company is having to step in. So when you're messing up money, like, you can mess up money by a couple of simple words here and there. So,
bro, we talk about dates though. Like, y'all is coming out 2 months than what we originally wanted to be. I mean, I think that's kind of weird. I think that's fucking stupid to get upset about. That's all me. That's just me though.
That company is mad because they openly stepped into an issue last week by saying, because they went into crunch, and they've been open about that for a good minute that they weren't going into crunch. So they released a statement.
Oh yeah, yeah. But all right, go ahead. Sorry. I know what you're talking about.
They released a statement they didn't have to release, saying, "Yeah, we're going into crunch. We're moving from 5 days a week to 6 days a week to make sure we get all the bugs out before launch." They didn't have to say that. They could have just been quiet. Because the thing is, they promised twice that they were never going to go into crunch. So they could have just stayed quiet and they'll find out. They find out.
And so I know that delves into the workforce of all of the these studios, these game studios, which I know it's a really big issue. I know Anthem was going through a lot of shit with their studio and the workers that they had. So I understand in that aspect where it could be an issue. I'm just speaking on the level of this date shit. Like I can agree with this somewhat if they do some shit like that for the hype. If they want to really sell their, which I kind of do, kind of don't, because I can see the disadvantages like you mentioned, but I also understand to really hype this game, to really get that popularity, that where social media is prevalent in social media almost every time I open up my Twitter or something, even though I'm sure that's because all the data that's being taken from my phone. But this stuff that I'm just
because every time they delay it though, that means you would be moving production costs higher and higher, which makes it hard to recoup that money.
I can understand that on that viewpoint though. It's on the finances behind it and who's going to be affected truly from it.
You got to answer the shareholders. Like, imagine, you're a shareholder on the board. They're like, yeah, we're going to delay this game just to get the hype up. You're just a person who's not a video game person. You're just a business person who's like, where's my money?
You see the money behind it. Yeah.
It's like,
I can see that. I would have to look more into that, but I could definitely see that. I could see that being somewhat of a suicide on their part for even thinking of doing that. But I also see the advantages behind it if they did, because I'm sure there's been plenty of studios, movies, whatever, that have done shit like that.
Oh no, that's happening right now. Movie-wise, it's happening. Oh, yeah. They're open about that though. Like, people are mad open about certain things. Like, movies are like, we're not going to release movies until people go into theaters.
Yeah.
Like, they're just
some shit like that.
Yeah, movie theaters are suffering right now. So a lot of them are waiting to put the movies out until they start going back. So people start going back. I mean, right now would be a great time to have drive-in movie theaters. It'd be a great time to have it right now.
Yeah, that's been
going to be contracting anything.
That's been a discussion for a while with people. I think that's something they really wanted to try to do this during the whole pandemic, which is still going on. So it wouldn't be a bad move on their part.
Right.
I think certain small towns and little parts of the city. I think New York did it recently. Somewhere in New York.
Here.
They did it here too?
They did it in multiple areas.
Oh shit!
Also missed that. When did that here? When did it here?
Like at least in June, July, August.
At Port Warwick? At Port Warwick?
Oh no, they were doing those over at in the Hampton Coliseum, setting them up like movies on Fridays and whatnot.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, got
Are they like reruns though, or are they actually sending like?
Those were, I don't know.
Like popularity, like shit like Independence Day or something?
I think like Sonic.
Oh. Well, that Sonic movie was actually pretty good. I'm gonna keep it real.
You know what I didn't know? You know what I didn't know about Sonic? I didn't know Sonic's voice was old boy from
George Rufio. Rufio. Yes, for Parks and Recreation, man. Oh my God, yes. It was so funny.
My whole perspective was like, damn. God.
If you like really listen to his voice and you watch Parks and Rec, yep, that's that motherfucker right there.
I was like, but then I remember I watched Sonic before I watched Parks and Rec, so I was like, why? I was in my mind. I was like, why is his voice so familiar? I was like, my mind.
Don Ralphio, man, that's my dude.
That guy's hilarious, man. Don't be suspicious.
He faked his own death. Really, dude? Shut up, man. Oh, that was a great show, man. All right. Anyways, but yeah, no, I kind of want to delve into that. I'm really looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077. I think that's going to be another game that unfortunately is going to be putting all these other games on the back burner. Genshin Impact is going to be Genshin Hoop.
You're not gonna finish anything. Just saying,
Bro, I finished Yakuza Kiwami. I finished that.
Wait, hold
You
up.
got 6 more to go. So
I bought them all. Shit.
First of all, we all know who's the culprit for that. The one that's not in the chat right now.
Oh, they're not. That doesn't finish.
We all know who's the culprit for that.
I think it was Final Fantasy 7. But yeah, no, man.
Had to push that man to finish Final Fantasy.
Nah, bro.
we're just gonna spoil it. You're like, all right.
Motherfucker kept hearing some shit and change. Let's get that shit.
Right.
Let's not talk shit, man. No, I think CD Projekt Red is gonna do a great job with this one. I still haven't played Witcher 3. That will happen eventually as well. But
This is
I heard
the first game that's not The Witcher.
yeah. So they've definitely been in production with this game since 2013. So they from 2013 to 2020, that's a lot of time and effort, a lot of hours, a lot of manpower. So
See, that's the thing. They got this is launching, which I think it launches the day before or the day after the
PS5.
PlayStation 5.
yeah,
So
I think the following week.
that.
I think it's the following week. I think, or it could be. I think it might be before the week before.
Oh, I got a lot of that time off. But yeah, I got more important things to do instead of work. Say that Cyberpunk. But
that's
I'm always
gonna
gonna
be
wait.
it's gonna be a day one buy for me, man. I'm sorry, I gotta do it. But yeah, all right, that's me, man. I'm good, bro. I'm good. Thomas, you got anything for us?
well, I've been I caught wind of Watchdog I'm waiting for this new Watchdog Legions to drop.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I'm probably gonna go really more in depth with it next week, but looks like they're gonna do an Assassin's Creed crossover finally.
Huh.
Which means you're gonna have an assassin in modern day.
And they could definitely do that, honestly.
Yeah, it's like their
Fucking
post-launch
Desmond or
trailer.
something.
That's interesting. Huh.
So yeah, I'm probably gonna go more into that next week because I just came across the trailer. I'm like, all right, it looks. Well, I'm already getting that game. That's like
Yeah. You ready?
multiple games I have pre-ordered until December.
That first one rubbed me the wrong way, and I still want to check out the second one though.
Second one's pretty good. I never played the first one. Second one I had a good time with. I just played multiplayer, so I never really got into the story. This will be the first one to get into the story, and it looks like they're doing the multiplayer doesn't drop until December, so I have two months to play through. Because that drops 29th. So I have like 2 months.
Watchdog Legion, right?
Yeah, so that's the third one, and so far you have two characters from. Aiden Pierce is coming back as DLC.
Oh,
Wrench from the second one's coming back as DLC. They might bring everyone back, but and you have Stormzy has a music video that he's dropping with it. Ryan rapper from UK.
Yeah, the English rapper.
Yeah, so they have him in there. Like he has even special mission in there and all that. So it looks like they got a nice roadmap set up for it. I'm like, this is one of those games that I pre-ordered when pre-orders were like pre-orders launched like a year ago. I was like, all right, bet I'm on it. Same thing with Cyberpunk.
Damn.
Yeah, you ready for that one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold that one off just like I did with the second one. I'm gonna hold it off.
It's one of those games that I like open world games. You told me open world London, which I've been wanting a London game since the Getaway back on PlayStation 3. And no, PlayStation 2.
That's PlayStation 2, yeah.
Yeah. So that was my it looks like it's gonna be on that level. And I'm like, yo, you can tell me I can have you can make whatever team you want. So that's the best part for me. I gotta make a gang of spies, construction workers, whatever. So
okay.
You can recruit anybody.
That's good. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we straight, man. We knocked that out. I think we knocked that out. Hey, I know y'all miss us, man. I know y'all want to see us every day, but we got lives still. We got families to take care of. I'm trying to make babies out here, man. I'm just playing. Don't tell my wife. All right. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Watch this.
Another one.
Hey, man. I snitch on myself too damn much. I got to shut my damn mouth. All right, y'all. But y'all take it easy. All the fans, Media Marauders, please click like and subscribe. Don't forget that bell on the side for all content. Everything Media Marauders. And we also have social media platforms too. So check out Facebook. Check out our Twitter. You can check us out under Media Marauders. Everything's just there. So just please take go out there, comment, let us know what you like, what you dislike, how much you hate us, how much you love us, how much you despise us, how indifferent you are about us. Just let us know. But once again, this is Max. Got my boy King and Mr. Thomas.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree? Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
All right, y'all.
Tree.
You said 2?
There's 2 times to plant a tree.
Okay,
Now,
well. And also, don't forget to vote. I don't want to be that guy, but please don't forget to vote. All right, everybody, please have a good night. Be safe, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Gang.
Once again, stop this shit right here. Yeah, this shit about to stop, bro. I pressed stop video. I'm such a dumbass. Hold up.